we're going to Memphis. Memphis is
That's the next city.
deeply troubled. And the mayor is happy. He's a Democrat mayor. The mayor is happy. And the governor, Tennessee, the governor is happy. Deeply troubled. We're going to fix that just like we did Washington. I had a man in the head of a big railroad. They're doing a merger, and he wanted to come see me and all that stuff. And I asked him, because, it's one of the largest train companies, maybe the largest, so you can figure out who it is, okay, Union Pacific. And he was in my office, and he started off 45 years ago with the railroad. Such a great story. Sir, I'm a railroader. That's the kind of guy that should write it, as opposed to a Wall Street guy that destroys the railroad, but he's good financially, right? And he was a very impressive guy. And I said, so what do you think? Where should we go next as a city? Because we're going to go 1, 2, 3, and then we'll do a few at a time. But we're going to straighten out the crime in these cities. He said, sir, Memphis would be good because he's on the board of FedEx. He said, when I walk 1 block to my hotel, they won't allow me to do it. They put me in an armored vehicle with bulletproof glass to take me 1 block. He said, it's so terrible. I said, let me ask you a question. So we're going to Memphis. I'm just announcing that now, and we'll straighten that out.
National Guard?
National Guard and anybody else we need. And by the way, we'll bring in the military, too, if we need it.
The law and order issue in DC and the way the president has got the National Guard involved there. And of course, now you mentioned then that there was the potential for action in Chicago, but that's blown up into a big controversy now. Do you think anything's going to happen in Chicago?
Trump is saying he is going to send the National Guard there. He's also threatening to do it, or has threatened to do it, in New York City. This is something that needs to happen. The crime rates in American cities right now are completely out of control. It's not just Chicago. I saw a news story this morning, Chris, about a Ukrainian woman who escaped from Ukraine because she was terrified of the war over there, moved to Charlotte, North Carolina, was just riding on the train and was killed for absolutely no reason in a random attack on an American train. This is happening in American cities. Today, U.S. cities on public transit can be, in some situations, more dangerous than being in a war zone in Ukraine. It's absolutely crazy. Of course, Chicago's ground zero for this kind of violence, gang shootings all over the place, drugs, tent cities, homelessness. And this all happens, most of it anyway, under Democrat leadership in these cities. If they can't protect their citizens and keep their streets safe, Donald Trump's going to have to step in and do that job for them. So I hope he does good on his promise and sends the National Guard in there.
Yeah, well, let's have a look at what the authorities say about this.
This is an opportunity for us to go into sanctuary cities and work against these sanctuary city policies and not let them deter ICE from being able to do our work, to go after the worst of the worst, just like the guy behind me who committed sexual assault against a minor. I mean, these criminal aliens have wreaked havoc on the American people for years, and that time is over. And even when we have pushback from Democrat leadership, that's not going to stop us. We're going to continue to go after the worst of the worst.
Yeah, when you've got people talking about enforcing the law like this, and when you have crime problems, and that murder you referred to was absolutely horrific, a senseless murder of an innocent woman travelling on a train, of course the public's going to support this. Donald Trump's been out there as usual on social media. He says he loves the smell of deportations in the morning. An extraordinary, typical Trump, talking about the chipperlips now instead of apocalypse now to sort things out in Chicago. And he's had a go at the media too in the way they've been framing this. Have a look at this exchange.
That's fake news. When you say that, darling, that's fake news.
Well, why would you the Department of Defense?
Listen, be quiet. Listen. You don't listen. You never listen. That's why you're second rate. We're not going to war. We're going to clean up our cities. We're going to clean them up so they don't kill 5 people every weekend. That's not war. That's common sense.
Geez, so much on his plate, Kristen. Still trying to settle the war in Ukraine, still trying to help out with a peace settlement in the Middle East. But this war on crime at home is probably going to be even more important for the country.
Yeah, it's certainly something that affects many Americans every day. And Trump is just a genius at this. He constantly is forcing liberals to defend the undefendable because they will just oppose anything that he supports. So he says he wants to get rid of violent, criminal, illegal immigrants, something that polls tell us 80% of Americans support. And he basically forces them into the position where they're now having to defend not deporting illegal immigrant criminals, especially in a place like Chicago. And the Democrats are out there screaming about it. It's just absurd.
Great to talk to you as ever, Kristen. We'll catch up next week.
Thank you, Chris.
Never a dull moment with the Donald, is there?